Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I'm going to be doing another watch unveil or watch review today. And this is by a company called Alexander. Now, as stated in my other videos, if you follow my channel on a regular basis, I know I kind of repeat myself a lot, but I just want to share with you guys that, although I mainly review Invicta watches and some of the over-the-top dive style watches like your Aragons, your Invictus, it doesn't mean that I don't like all watches. And I basically reached out to this company because I thought they made a fantastic product and some very interesting products. And they were nice enough to send me several watches for review. And so I can get to know these watches and wear them. And one neat thing about this company, and I didn't expect them to do this, is they sent me 3 women's watches. Now, I have a girlfriend, and she is not as passionate about watches as I am because, I'm fanatical about watches. It's like an addiction. She still likes watches, and it was nice to kind of get her opinion on some of these. Now, I apologize in advance to the folks over at Alexander. I wanted to get her in the video, but she just doesn't feel comfortable doing so. So I'm going to review the watch the best I can as a man reviewing a woman's watch. And let's face it, guys, there's really only difference between a woman's watch and a men's watch is really who's wearing it. Because a man can still wear a very small watch. Women can wear very large watches. So really all watches, in my opinion, can really be unisex if you're the type of person who can pull it off. Just because a watch may look a certain way doesn't mean either sex can't wear it. It's up to what you want to wear, and what you want to do, and what you feel comfortable with. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Alexander. It's a newer company on the block. They are owned by a parent company, which I'm not going to mention quite yet, but it is a very reputable brand. It's been around for a very, very long time. And their brand, Alexander, basically they make what I would consider and this is going to be very subjective because when I say high-end, some folks will consider like Rolex and Omega high-end. Some folks would not even consider Rolex or Omega high-end. It would be, higher-end. So I would consider for the average person, the guy who doesn't want to spend more than $1,000 on a watch, I would consider this like your mid-level brands. And just because I say mid-level or you can't really consider, you can't really compare, I guess, or judge quality by price. I mean, there's lots of watches that cost $150 that have exceptional quality compared to other watches you see in the mall for $500. So it really depends on the particular company and the watch. And Alexander, their watches, in my opinion, are more of a dress style watch, okay? Definitely in the men's department. The women's department, I would just say more of just what you would consider a woman's watch, just not quite as large. You're looking at the 32 to 35 millimeter range. Not to say a man can't wear a watch that small. Absolutely, like I said, incorrect. So, without further ado, without rambling on about whether or not you should wear this or shouldn't wear this, let's go ahead and show you what the watch looks like. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on my wrist for a guy my size and my height, my weight. Even though I am a man, it'll give you an idea of what it might look like on on a woman, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I wish my girlfriend, she's a lot prettier than I am. We wish you can get her in the video, and I keep twisting her arm, but we'll see. Maybe at a later date. We'll see. But nonetheless, you'll get an idea of what it looks like on a 7-inch wrist, which, there are some girls who have a 7-inch wrist, but generally girls tend to be within the 4.5, 5-inch wrist. So naturally, a smaller watch will look really large. However, my girlfriend's got pretty small wrists, and she wears Invictus as well. And I got her a few Invictus for, a couple of gifts that she's got me, a few Invictus. But, my girlfriend wears a 48 millimeter, I believe that's the size of it, 48 millimeter Grand Diver all day long. And it looks great on her. So you can really wear whatever you want to wear, okay? That's my point, okay? But the watch I want to share with you today is, again, by a company called Alexander. And I'm just going to first show you what the box, or what the watch comes in, its presentation. I would call it an unboxing, but the watch is already out of the box. So here's what they do. They have kind of like this corduroy kind of textured cardboard box on the outside, okay? Which, again, as I say in every video, I'm never too concerned with the box, but I will say Alexander is one of the nicest presentations I've seen for anything I've had the opportunity to get my hands on, okay? So naturally you have your cardboard, this pops off, you have your Alexander logo on the top, and here's where they really pride themselves in the watch box. This is definitely a lot nicer than a lot of other companies I've seen out there. They do this felt-covered black piano glossed-out shiny box. It's all wood construction. You have kind of your velvet on top with your Alexander logo. This is kind of like a pillow. Of course, it opens up and you have your royal blue interior, a spot for your registration card or whatnot, and of course the pillow for your watch. Okay. The only negative thing about it, I haven't tried to put a watch on that's been sized on this, and this doesn't give a lot. So if you size a watch, It may not fit back on the pillow, so you might have to leave it unbuckled, but nonetheless, you can still store it in the box. I wish companies would do more of a squishier pillow, and some companies do, that would fit in the box. Even if you have a woman's watch, I can guarantee you, when you size this for a small wrist, it's not going to fit back on the pillow and be able to be buckled back on. You have to keep it open. So that's the only negative thing I have to say about that. But nonetheless, still a beautiful presentation and a beautiful, beautiful watch box by Alexander. So moving on, not to spend too much time on the box, the watch I'm going to go ahead and show you today is called, and I had to Google the pronunciation, and this is called the Vassilis, if I'm saying that correctly, Vassilis. It's the Vassilis model number A204B-1. And let me show you the watch first. I want to tell you a little bit about it, and then we'll show you what it looks like on a wrist my size, okay? So here's the watch here. Side of the case. Crown side, your band. And I'll come back and kind of, I just wanted to just give you a quick view of the watch, and I'll come back, I'll show you it again, okay? So this watch is available in 6 different color combinations. You can get it in the color that we have here. This is done in all stainless steel with a white mother of pearl, and you have your moon face in the middle. Moon phase, excuse me. And then you have your day of the month, of course. These are Swiss-made watches. The movements are Swiss-made. I'll tell you what that movement is. It's a little different on each model. This watch is also available in, if you were to go to, it's an A204B-, so this is the 01, it's 1 through 6. So next color combination is still the stainless steel, but done in sort of a, it's almost done in like kind of a royal blue. Then it's done in a 2-tone yellow, gold, and silver with that royal blue face, or royal blue mother of pearl. Then, of course, it's done with this same face with yellow tone markers and yellow tone band and silver tone. So you have yellow tone gold down the center of the band. And I'll put a link in the description. You can check out all these watches and find the color combination you might like. Again, done in all yellow gold and then all rose gold. And I think the rose gold one, to my personal taste, if you like gold, is really nice looking because you have your brown mother of pearl and then your moon face. And it's really an exceptional looking watch. But let's go with this one, the one they sent me here. Specifications on this one here. Let's see here. It's all stainless steel construction. Case diameter 35 millimeters. Stainless steel engraved case back, as you can see. And this is, I'm just reading it right off the site. This is pretty standard on all their watches, or any watch in general. Most watches, are going to have some sort of logo or engraved case back on them. Water resistance on this, 165 feet. You do have a sapphire crystal, which is one of your higher quality crystals on watches, so it's very, very resistant to scratching. Deployment fold-over clasp with dual push buttons, as you can see on the back here. This folds over like so, and dual deployment like that. It does have the moon phase complication, and it is a Ronda 708 movement, okay? And for those of you who aren't familiar with Ronda, they're used in many, many watch companies out there. They basically focus on, their movements, and then they sell those movements to other companies, and other companies like Alexander use them in their watches. From my understanding so far of what I've seen with the Alexander brand, they tend to use 2 movements. When it's a chronograph automatic, like in the men's version, they use the Valjoux 7750 by ETA. It's one of very well-respected movements used in Breitlings and used in some Omegas, and it's used in many, many of the higher-end or more expensive watch brands. So a very well-respected movement. You can find them in Invictas. It's a very common chronograph automatic movement that you will find in many watches of great quality, is what I'm trying to say. The Rondas do the same thing, but they're quartz movements, and I'm not sure if Ronda makes, I don't think Ronda makes any automatic Swiss-made movements, but they do hold the Swiss-made insignia, of course, because they are, whether they're made with Swiss parts, they do whatever they do in their factory to allow them to be able to be labeled Swiss-made. They are considered Swiss-made, so that doesn't mean the watch is made in Switzerland. It just means that the movement is able to hold that I guess classification, if I'm saying that correctly. What else about the watch? Not really too much else listed on the website about the watch. Let's go with warranty. All the Alexander watches, to my understanding, have a 2-year warranty on them, which is great. What's nice about a watch like this is that, if you go looking at watches in the mall or whatnot, and there's lots of different brands out there, from brands that, I've never even heard of, you're going to pay a decent amount of money going to the mall and trying to find the watch, whether it be a man or a woman. And most time, you're not going to get a Swiss-made watch or a Swiss-made movement for that price point in a lot of cases. And most of the time, the movement isn't even mentioned. So you can at least rest assured that with any of the Alexander watches, you're getting a quality movement that's going to last you a really, really long time, not cause you any kind of problems. Of course, nothing is a guarantee in life, as we all know. Price point, this one here is going to be had for about $510. If you do go to the website and sign up, I'll put a link in the description where you can get this for the best deal. If you do purchase directly from Alexander, usually they have a 50% off coupon by signing with their email address, which will give you half off and get you about the $255 price point on this particular watch, which I think is more of a realistic price. You know, guys, they all play the game where they have a huge markup and then they have promotions that kind of get you to, to get you to buy. That's how it works, guys. You know, Invicta does the same thing. Aragon, I mean, Sterling, everybody does that with a high markup, and they have promotions. So about $250 is realistic for this watch as far as what you're going to be able to get it for. I'll also put links in the description where you can get it through Amazon or eBay if you like to purchase through those. Very, very safe places to buy. Again, you can see as far as the face is concerned, that white mother of pearl with high polish on the markers. You have your moon phase in the background right there, which actually the moon will rise and set depending on the time of day. You have your day of the month window right there. Your crown in this one here is a push-pull crown. It is not screw down, of course. Swiss-made insignia right in the bottom right there. It looks like the markers, it's hard for me to tell. The markers on each hour have this, of course, the marker. Sorry, I'm trying to do the best in describing this. The marker, and then you have these little kind of like little round marks. And the way they're designed, they have kind of angles to them. They almost look like they're a diamond, but they're not. They're actually stainless steel. And you see you have mirror polishing down the center of the band, and of course mirror polishing down the sides of the case, and the sides of the band, of course. And then a brush finish on the sides of the band here. And your dual deployment clasp, which I love the clasp on these. I wish Invicta did more of these, but they don't. It just feels solid on your wrist and secure. So, alright guys, without further ado, let me go ahead and show you what the watch looks like on a 7-inch wrist, okay? And again, this does look more like a female's watch. It is a little feminine. A guy, I guess, could pull it off, but I think there's a lot of other watches out there a man might like besides this one. It does kind of have a little bit of a feminine, well, I mean, it is a woman's watch, but you can see even at that 35mm case size, it's not really a small watch. And I mean, and I'm a man with a 7-inch wrist, which is not a huge wrist. However, you know, a girl with about a 4.5, 5-inch wrist, this is definitely going to look a lot bigger. Very, very pretty watch with that moon phase. I think that's really, really a nice feature on the watch. And the fact that you can get it in 6 different variations is also really nice. I'll get back a little bit. And when I say that it's more of a feminine watch, I just mean that based on, you know, the moon phase with the stars on it, and just the color of the mother of pearl to me, and you know, it just kind of makes it seem more like and it is a female's watch. But not to say a guy couldn't wear it, but it does kind of look a little bit dainty because it is a smaller size watch for a man. But however, from this distance, I mean, you know, I don't think anybody would really look at that and say you're wearing a female's watch. You know, I do consider it to be unisex. So, but again, that's up to the person, of course. Alright guys, well that's my Alexander watch review today. Again, that's called the Vassilis watch, A204B. If you're interested in purchasing this watch, go ahead and click the link to the description. If you have any questions about this watch, I do have a one-on-one with a gentleman or 2 people at the company. I can answer any questions you guys need about the product or any concerns you may have, or just any questions about making a purchase. So once again guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, have a great day.